just so you know. You're kicking it with K, that's all I'm gonna say. Oh, let's go. It's time to turn up your radio. Vibes will flow, just so you know. You're kicking it with K.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in again to Kicking It with K. Marie podcast. I'm your girl, K. Marie. What's up? So, you know that this is a brand new month, April, and we are continuing the New Ventures series. So, last week you heard from our first guest, Jack, excuse me, you heard from our first guest, Teresa Mead. She is a new entrepreneur, and she has some very, very good coffee, y'all. So I know you guys check that out. Check out her website and order that coffee because it is good. I'm telling you. And she has a lot to choose from. She has those K cups if you are interested in those, if you want to take them to your job. It's very good. Trust. Okay. So, for those who are listening to us for the very first time, we are a podcast for the culture. Okay. We are centrally based in Detroit, Michigan, roundabout, but we're in Michigan. And we just like to bring you people who are experts in their fields. You'll get advice, you will learn, you will think, you will laugh. Okay. So we like to have fun as well. Not just bring you serious information, but you know how we do, especially with the relationship panel. Again, get those questions in because we will go live sometime in May. So get those questions in that you want to ask us. We are looking forward to that, and we are looking forward to getting together. It's always a pleasure. So, today we have a great guest. I know you guys have remember I mentioned my movie that I was a part of, my student movie. I have my instructor on today, so I am very, very excited today. He's going to tell you more about that if you are interested in filmmaking. So, and also, you guys, we stream on every platform, okay? iHeartRadio, Pandora, Audible, everywhere that you listen to your podcast, except for Tidal. And it's not because, we don't want to, but it's because, Tidal, they only have a few podcasts that they're trying out and they're not I'm just letting people on at this moment. So, whatever platform you are listening to us on, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and follow. We would really appreciate that. And I just want to thank you because, last month, back in March, I put that we have reached 5,000 downloads. And I thank you to all of our supporters. I thank you for sharing. I thank you for following us on different platforms. I thank you for really digging this podcast and liking it. It really makes me feel good that I'm doing something right and that you are enjoying it. So I really, really appreciate your support. And we're going to keep going. Okay. So today, again, I have my instructor on today. His name is Timashion Jones. He hails from Detroit, Michigan. He is a graduate of CMA, and that stands for Communication Media Arts High School back in 1997. Offline, I was like 97. Wow. I graduated in 95. So that's a while ago, but still look good, for my age, whatever. So it's all good. He is a father. He is a husband to his queen, Tavia Jones, of over 20 years. They met in high school, and be on the lookout because they are in the process of writing a book on improving marriages. So you want to check that out. So Tamashian started off, he went to school for manufacturing engineering and he worked for one of the big three automotive companies. And then he went into his passion projects or his passion full time. And we're going to get into all of that, y'all. We're going to ask him what made him do that and how he did it. Because this is an encouraging episode for those who might be, stuck at a job or you might think your dreams will never come true. We just want to encourage you and let you know your dreams can come true no matter where you are in life. And this is just going to encourage you to do your dreams. Okay. So I'm gonna welcome to the show 3-time Emmy winner. And we're gonna get into that too. Timashion Jones. Hey Timashion.
What up, though, K Marie?
What up, though? I am so glad to have you on the show. You just don't know the people. They're going to be very, very encouraged. I believe they're going to be very blessed by what you have to say today and how you went about it. It's just wonderful and it's a good story.
Okay, cool, man. Excited to be here. Glad you thought of me to be on the podcast. I watched it before and thought it was pretty cool. And you got your whole vibe going on. I see got the little background back there. And is
Right, right.
that Detroit in the background?
It
You think?
is. It's
Woodward Avenue or something?
where is it? It's
I see.
I
That's the
forgot what
Fox,
street
right?
it is, but it wasn't Woodward, but it's like around Greektown area.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw the Fox in the background. Fox Theater. Oh, on the other
No,
side.
no,
The
it
other
do
side.
look right the parking, yeah. But yeah, it's somewhere down by Greektown. Yep.
Oh,
Took the picture, somebody blew it up as the backdrop. So
nice.
yep.
Okay, where to represent? You play the guitar too, or bass?
Uh Not yet.
Yes, you
Not
do.
yet. That's
All right,
one of the things.
let me be
Well,
quiet. Let me be quiet. Let me be nice background.
right.
What we here to talk about? What we here to talk about?
Soon though. I got it for my 30th birthday. And again, it's never too late, y'all, to start whatever you want to start. And I'm gonna start it soon, okay?
Okay.
Tamashi, I'm bringing up stuff.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'm sorry. Let me just go stay in my lane. I'm sorry. Analyzing stuff. I ain't saying nothing about the smoke and stuff. Is that sage or
Oh,
something?
that's it. No, that's my incense. And people,
Incense.
my listeners, those who watch, they know that from time to time, I like to get my Erica Badu vibe on. I
That's
love incense, so
that's
it
cool.
puts me in a nice mood,
Nice. Nice.
especially after work.
Okay. All right.
So before we get into that, everybody knows that this is the third season, and we start off when I have a guest. We start it off with what in the world. I always tell people that's my little cheesy graphic. So, what in the world is basically some type of odd, strange story that happens nationally or internationally, and we're just going to talk about it for a moment. And when I saw this particular story, I was like, "Oh, this would be nice to talk about with Tamashian." All right. So this says a parrot steals a GoPro. It says thieving bird gives aerial view of national park in New Zealand after stealing the camera. It said a family had put the camera down on the balcony while having a rest when the feathered friend swooped down, stole the device, and took it to the skies. It said the family was having a rest during a trek when the parrot was filming, swooping down, picking up the device, and making a swift getaway. The camera kept filming as the bird flew high above the tree covered hills um, at the national park. And then he just dropped it off somewhere. It was like, I'm done. Y'all can have your camera back. And so one of the kids found it. So you being the filmmaker, you out there, you setting up the perfect shot. You guys are like about to shoot and everything. Because we use all kind of cameras. Some people use, drones and all kind of stuff. So the GoPro is in position. And then finally a bird swoops and take it. So what are you what are you doing? What are you thinking if that happens right in the middle of your shot?
First thing I'm thinking about is do I have insurance to cover this GoPro? Um, and does what did we say? It was a parrot or something. What was it?
A parrot. Yep.
Does a parrot picking up the GoPro, taking it away, is covered in the insurance? Is that written in the policy? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I would be panicking. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But if they got a chance to get the GoPro after it was done, and then like see the footage, I mean, you can't beat that if it was good and you get to see everything. So at the end, if you're just patient and just wait and just, you know, muscle through those emotions, you can come out with something very beautiful.
Right. And I was thinking, like, okay, so what if that bird's shots was the reason why you received an Oscar in like cinematography or something like that? Are you thanking the bird or are you gonna take credit
Oh,
for it?
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. You thanking the bird, you might try to go find it and say, hey, do it again, champ. We're gonna use some gaff tape on your legs, you know what I'm saying, to make it official. But
Right. Put them on a
yeah.
crew.
You know what I'm saying? You give them some craft services.
Right. Yeah, I thought that was just I was like, "Oh my goodness." Yeah, I
But
bet
yeah,
that footage I bet it was some nice footage though,
hmm
above the trees and all that. I bet it was probably some nice footage. I would have loved to seen that footage though. But okay, so Timashion. So you went to CMA, right?
yeah, the pharaohs.
The
Yes.
the Pharaohs.
Yeah, that was everybody got their mascot and everything,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. We was the pharaohs, you know what I'm saying? So,
Okay.
kings,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. Well, we were just the pilots, and
Okay.
and our mascot was Snoopy. But so in high school, what was Tamashian like in high school?
Timashion was pretty responsible and irresponsible. It all depends on the time of the year. You know what I'm saying? So I was a athlete, so I played basketball every year since the seventh grade all the way to my high school senior year. And in between basketball seasons, I was out in these Detroit streets. You know what I'm saying? Doing my thing. And but I
Doing
also
your thing. Is that something that you can talk about
yeah,
publicly
yeah,
or
yeah.
okay?
I was never really not all the way. You know what I'm saying? But I've never really out there. I can talk about it. I mean, it's been over 20 years. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I engage in teenage activities. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Not thinking about the future. Just thinking about
Yeah.
like how can I have fun and turn up this summer. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I did that, and then I also, I mean, I had like a 3.0 or whatever, so I was taking care of
Okay.
my business with the school, and I was in the drama department.
Okay.
Like they had little drama clubs and stuff like that or whatever. So,
So when you
so
was in the drama department, did you were you acting or were you like behind the scenes?
yeah, I was doing some acting, and then like we had a little thing where we would do like plays or monologues or something like that or whatever
Hmm.
for the school assembly. So I would do that. And then we also did a movie. It was the first short film that I was in called Hanging High. And it was about uh, kids getting high, hanging out with each other. And it was like it addressed like domestic violence
Mm.
and getting help from a guidance counselor when you're really going through some things or whatever. So, but that was my first time acting and
Okay.
seeing what it was like to make a short film. So that was like my
Hmm.
very first taste of being a film, being involved in
Yeah.
film. So it was cool. I had to share that clip with you. Yeah, I still got it.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to see Tamashian acting. So how do you feel about acting? So when you did it, you was like, okay, this is cool, but not something I really want to get into.
I didn't mind. I thought it was fun, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Just to be a character and we was like slapping people and smoking weed at the drive-in. It was fun, you know what I'm saying? I was like, it wasn't real weed or whatever, but
Right. Right.
they was asking me how I learned how to roll it up like that. I was like, mind your business,
Like you asking too
This,
much
this,
questions,
this
huh?
is fake. This is a prop. You know what I'm saying? Let me hook up this prop right quick. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was fun. But at the end, what even to this day, what I liked most about it was seeing the reactions of my classmates when they watched it, and they were like, "Whoa!" And everybody was like entertained and stuff, and so watching people's reaction to your work is
Hmm.
like the greatest benefit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I concur with that. Okay, so high school. So after high school, you went where?
So I went to this engineering program at Focus Hope called the Center for Advanced Technology.
Hmm.
They had like a state of the art engineering program, and they were offering like I don't want to say a stipend, but you got paid to work, and they paid for your school, and you went to college all at the same time. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? So I went to work for like 8 hours, and then right after that, the teachers either came to the campus or we would go to Lawrence Tech or Wayne State or University of Detroit Mercy and take our classes there or whatever. So it was like we worked on real manufacturing projects like the big three,
Hmm.
Detroit Diesel. We actually made parts for
Oh wow.
these companies. So that's how we learned. And
So it's
then
like hands on.
it was hands-on experience. So I left there with, you know, 4 or 5 years of experience of working on real projects along with a 4 year, bachelor degree. So I was pretty marketable once I left, and then I went out to the industry, you know. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
So when you said that, like that program was really hands on, I was like, oh, okay, now I see. With the process of filmmaking, that
see,
makes
that's
sense.
put it all together. So I learned that was my beginning stages of engineering. But when I first joined the thing, I didn't know that it was. I didn't know what an engineer did.
Hmm.
I was like, okay, I get paid to work. I get a free college education, and they kept on saying, "Hey, these engineers, they can go and make $100,000." And
Hmm.
for somebody who made like $5.21 working at Blockbuster Video, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like $100,000 was like, I don't care what engineers do, I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I kind of like buckled down, and I'm like, yo, I'm about to get these 100 racks, man. I'm about to get this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So then I learned what an engineer, you know, did,
Hmm.
and all the way from the beginning of the idea all the way to manufacturing that product. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, and that's how I learned how to do my films and everything, just by understanding the process and then applying it to filmmaking. But I know we're
Hmm.
gonna get to that. I know you're
Yeah.
gonna bring up to it. But
I,
I ended up
I was like the light bulb just went on in my head, like, okay.
exactly, and that's me. You know what I'm saying? So that's my niche, right? So I got my associate degree from Lawrence Tech, and then I got my bachelor degree from Wayne State University. You know,
Okay.
so yeah, I
And
didn't
then
have
you
to,
went,
I didn't have any student loans or anything. It was like
oh,
it
oh,
was done. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
oh, that's a blessing.
absolutely. Praise the
That is a
Lord.
blessing because I have this a little bit, but that's a blessing. And then you went on to work with one of the big threes.
Not necessarily. We work for a tier one supplier to the big three.
Okay.
So my company made parts. When I first started, I went to work for American Axle. And they made axles for GM. You
Okay.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? All those vehicles or whatever. So then I went on to work for this other company. It ended up turning out to be Yang Feng. It was a Chinese company. That they bought it in 2015, but I started working for this place in 2009.
Okay.
And they made parts for Ford, um, Chrysler, which is now FCA, Stellantis. They didn't change so many
They
different times.
changed so many times.
Yeah. So we made parts for them, and so yeah, we made parts directly for the big three.
Okay. Gotcha.
And GM, Ford, and Stellantis.
Okay. So it's fair to say that while you were there, that you loved your job.
I did. I really like working with people, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And being in a plant, like a plant it reminded me of like my family, you know what I'm saying? Because my
Hmm.
family is so like diverse. We have so many different personalities. I got people from, you know, spent a lot of time in prison. I got people who got PhDs working as chemists, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I got doctors, I got nurses, I got street pharmacists,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, and everything in between. So like when
Mhm.
I go inside of a plant, it was like you got so many different personalities. It
Yeah.
was like, man, I feel like I'm at home. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you
Mhm.
know, so you build these relationships with all these different people, and then the work is good because I like just I like having a standard of excellence in anything that my name is associated with.
Yes.
So I want my department to be the best ran department. The people like their jobs, and we kick out those numbers. Like I always just wanted that, you know. And somebody taught me something too, man. It was a guy who had like a really rough job. You know what I'm saying? He had to clean out the troughs, and it was like, you know, coolant from the machines that get real dirty and go underneath the
Mhm.
ground, and sometimes they get these chips jammed up in it. So he would have to go in and break away these chips, and
Mhm.
coolant would splash all on him, and he would go around with this
Mhm.
smell and stuff. And you know, he came up to me, he was like, you know what? I love my job. and I was
Mm.
like,
Okay.
and I'm like, I mean, your job is like the least most desirable job in the plant. You know what I'm saying? But he was like,
Right.
I don't know about y'all, man. I should have been dead, man. I should have been doing this and that. Man, I
Mhm.
get a chance to do this, make good money. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how y'all be up in them offices and y'all don't like what y'all doing. You know, people be killing themselves. I was like, okay. But but it came up and I was like, he just made it up in his mind that he loved what he does. And I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I love my job too. You know what I'm saying? And I really
Mhm.
started having that approach. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like I really like what I do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what made me want to get up every day and really do a good job. So it kind of like, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
motivated me in a sense. You know, I learned a lot from the people that I work with, regardless of their status. You know what I'm saying?
And
So
see, and that's I'm not gonna say it's rare, but a lot of people they're in a job where they dread getting up in the morning. It's a struggle. But for you to say that you looked forward to getting up and doing your job. So by you liking your job, what made you leave your job?
you're a pretty good interviewer, you know. So so it's a gap, right? So when I first started and I learned that lesson from that guy, you know, his name is Herb, by the way, but I learned that lesson from him, and then the company that I worked for ended up relocating to like Mexico. They wanted to, you know, make all their stuff out, you know.
Mhm.
It's a long story, how, you know, how you American accent, then all your stuff comes from Mexico. But anyway, that's a whole other.
Right.
I'm a
Cheap
little, still
labor. Yeah.
a little bitter about that. You know what I'm saying? So I got laid
Yeah.
off, right? So when I got laid off, I had already learned that lesson of loving my job. So I got laid off, and my wife had just got pregnant. You know what I'm saying,
Mm.
with our daughter. And I was like, yo, like, all right, I got to get a job. I got a job. And I was like laid off for like 8 months. And she was
Okay.
like, dude. And I finally got that job when I was, you know, on the ninth, like almost, I think I got
Wow.
the job. I got the job on a Friday. That next Saturday, she had my daughter. You know what I'm saying?
What?
So it was like it all
Hey.
lined up. I was like, yo, I just need a couple of days off. You know what I'm saying? Just let me go take care of my family or whatever. But I promise you,
Right.
I would be back, right? But so I already learned how to love my job by having that conversation. But then I was laid off for 8 months. So I knew what not having a job and trying to get a job felt like. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I could have got a job, but it was like I got this degree, and it was like 2008, 2009, you know, all that, you know,
The
everything crashed
recession.
stuff. Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
so it was a lot going on, but I didn't want to just take a, you know, a job at, you know, flipping burgers
Yeah.
or something like that. I was like,
Yeah.
I'll wait till I get me something that's paying me right, you know,
Mhm.
and it ended up working out. But anyway, so that's like 2009. And then that's when I started really getting serious about filmmaking around that time too. Because I started doing like this talk show. You know, I had the iPhone 3GS came out, you know, and it had a video. And I
Mhm.
started doing a video talk show. You know, it's called a Good News Talk Show, you know.
Okay.
And so you know, I started doing that, but then I got serious about 2011 about making movies, and we ended up shooting our first movie in 2011. I used like 2 weeks of vacation, 2 weeks unpaid, leave of absence. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I was just like, we spent the whole month putting together A Love That Hurts. By the way, it's on Tubi. Anybody
And
watching it,
it's good, y'all. It's
check
good.
it out.
It is. It's on Tubi. You can. download, the app.
Yeah,
It's on most smart TVs already. Fire Stick or whatever.
there
It's
you
a good flick.
watch it for free. That was our first movie and everything,
Mm-hmm.
And so we went on to make A Love That Hurts. Then we went on to make Cody High, Life and Osborne. Then I made some. All this while I was still working at this job. So I would
Mm-hmm.
work on my weekends and vacations. I would make movies. That was my past. Like some people would go and go on vacation and go golfing at different places in the world or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I would go make movies. And I got to the point, back in 2019 or whatever, where it started to be like, all right, it's about that time to like jump over, And I had this 2020 vision party in 2015 where I brought a whole bunch of different entrepreneurs and people to like share where they see themselves in the year 2020. So 5 years from now, where do you see yourself? And in
Mm-hmm.
2020, I had said, hey, I want to be doing films full time. Me and my wife, we're going to have a building for our the dance studio. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to be, and I named a whole bunch of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
And then 2020 came and I'm like, I did everything but like not jump out and
Mm.
do my film thing or whatever. But 2020 was just a funky year, you know what I'm saying? Like none of us expected 2020 to turn out to be
No, not at all.
the way it was. So I couldn't really make that jump in 2020 because I didn't understand what was going on. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But then 2021 came and stuff was just happening where it was like I was losing more money because I started outsourcing a lot of video work. And then I started looking at how much I was paying them. I'm like, wait a minute, I would pay about 3, 4 people a whole lot of money. I'm like, man, if I just did it myself, I wouldn't have to. And I had a really
Mm-hmm.
good job, what I'm saying? I had moved up, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
I was doing over 6 figures in my career on my
Mm-hmm.
job by that time. You should be working in the industry since 2004. I mean, you should be doing that,
Yeah.
you know.
Yes.
And but it was like I didn't. People was calling me, asking me, "Can I come and produce a movie for him in Nigeria? Can I come and
Mm.
produce a movie with him? It's a 3 or 4 weeks shoot." And I'm like, I don't got that much vacation time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, I'm actually losing money by
Mm-hmm.
working all these hours. And we was launching this brand new product. And anytime you're involved in a launch, I mean, your hour it could be 8 hours you go home, it can be 18. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Like it depends on what's going on. And you shutting the customer down. And plus I was like over everybody. And so I got to deal
Mm-hmm.
directly with the customer. And they would come in, we shut them down, and I'm like, man, I could be making movies somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So yeah, me and my wife, we were talking, we prayed about like what we wanted to do. Some things happened. We had to kind of like move some resources around and
Mm-hmm.
say, all right, you know what I'm saying? And then we had to plan everything out. You mind if I just go through it, or you got more questions? Because I can
No,
talk.
go ahead. Go ahead.
All right,
Oh, I know. Go
all
ahead.
right. So this is what it's like. Anybody that plan on quitting their job, this is what my advice, and this is what I did. You know what I'm saying? So if you got plans on leaving, just listen up. It won't take long. All right. So the first thing I had to do was I had to determine how much do I need to make in order to be Timashion.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are the minimum amount of resources I need to pay for, what I'm saying, a mortgage, car note, or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
bills that I got. I gotta eat, gotta feed the kids. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's how much money I really need to make. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about cutting expenses and all that stuff.
Right.
I like keeping my cable bill. I like having
To
high speed
live
internet.
comfortably.
Yeah, I'm not trying to go to the
Yeah.
library to get on the internet. I'm not. I'm like I want to like like I want all of my stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I had to figure that out. Now that is a whole lot lower than what I was making. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like just to be me. So I had to find out how much do I need to cover my minimum, my expenses, right? So that's the first phase. And I say, all right, can I make that on a consistent basis where I cover all of my expenses? I say, all right, cool. So I plan on doing that at least for the first 3, 4 months. I got enough to cover my expenses, right? Then it's like, okay, what can I do to get more money to get back to the point where I was at my job? You know what I'm saying? So that's when you start thinking about what are other ways I can make money. You know what I'm saying? Like like this working transactional money is kind of like fading out with all this modern day
Mm-hmm.
technology. You know what I'm saying? So I started learning that people were putting together these online courses. You know what I'm saying? And they were
Mm-hmm.
collecting and making a lot of money on online courses. And I was like, you know, and I was listening to this person, and it was like, what is it that you could talk for 2 or 3 hours about that you just love, and you can be the expert? Well, you should be making a course about that. And I was like, only
Mm-hmm.
thing I really like is, you know, I could talk about manufacturing, but I can talk about making movies. So it popped in my head, hey, I can do a film course. So I started writing out the curriculum and everything before I even put it out there, you know. So then, you know, that was another way to make money out
Mm-hmm.
over the minimum amount of money that I needed, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you do that, and then now your time is opened up too, where you can take on more jobs. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Because I'm not constrained to, you know, after working weekends. So now I can fully go out here and hustle up and get more projects and stuff like that or whatever. So I started getting monthly deliverables to, you know, certain companies and organizations. They got me doing
Right.
like weekly videos. So now every month I know exactly how much I'm gonna get from doing these weekly videos. You know what I'm saying? So then, and then now you get to the point now where, okay, now I'm not trying to make the minimum payments. I mean the minimum
Mm-hmm.
amount. I'm not trying to make my salary that I made at the other point. I'm trying to double up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now the goal is to make twice as much what I made at my salary. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things that I told my boss on the day that I put my 2 weeks notice in, you know what I'm saying? I told him, I said, listen, man, I can't let 6 figures stop me from making 7.
I like that. When you
You know
said
what
that in
I'm
class, I was like,
saying?
yes.
Yeah. And I was dead serious. He knew I was serious. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this place is stopping me from making millions of dollars because I know
Mm-hmm.
I can if I can go ahead and fully commit to my craft and my passion and all that stuff. Plus, I got friends that's making it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I know what they doing because they like transparent with me. And I'm like, yo, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
you know, we can make you can make one movie and it blow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now you know your minimum pay your payments is done. You know what I'm saying? You just go
Yeah.
ahead and live off the royalties, man. I like royalties, man. Oh man, they should have never introduced me to
Yes.
royalty checks. You know what I'm saying? I got my
I
first
can't. I
royalty check.
can't wait to get them. Okay.
I'm like, what? You mean tell me I get this every 3 months and I don't do nothing else? I just get to cash these checks. You know, we was getting multiple checks. And I was like, I can get used to this. You know what
Right.
I'm
Right.
saying? You know,
Right.
like I kind of figured why I wonder why they call them royalty checks. But when you get them in the mail, that walk from the mailbox to the house feel like royalty. You know what I'm saying? You just walk, you like, you know what I'm saying? You know, you just doing your little walk. You know, you got a royalty check. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if
Right.
it's
Right.
$4 or $4,000, man. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. You
Right.
know, it's a royalty check. You know. But anyway, go ahead.
So no, that was some good tips. I know some people are probably like, okay, yeah, I want to do my passion full time, but may not know how, to go about doing it. So that was really good. It was something that you said when you were talking. You said that while you were at work, people were coming to you and ask you to produce different movies. Now, did those inquiries come off the heels of your Emmy winning documentary, or was it before then? Like, what was the time frame when
Oh
people
yeah,
start?
yeah. It was definitely after the
Mhm.
Emmy. I mean, the Emmy did something to us that we could have never imagined.
Yeah.
And once we got the Emmy, it was like I mean, it's like you have a certain um standard of excellence when you're
Mhm.
part of the project. You know what I'm saying? They was like,
Yes.
we know you got an Emmy, we want you on the project. And it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? And when I directed my first movie, I didn't have my other partners who we won the Emmy Award with. My biggest fear was like, man,
Mhm.
they got me doing this project and it turned out bad. And it's like, hey, this Emmy Award winning filmmaker make this trash movie. And I'm like, I can't have that. You know what I'm saying? So we worked and we made sure it was a good movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just having the Emmy, it does something to not you as a person, but people perspective or perception of you. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
because
saying? It's like,
if we being real, that was one of the reasons why I took your class.
yeah, yeah.
Because
So
I told Cameron's a friend of the pod, and because I was telling her that I was interested in like taking some workshops, some filmmaking workshops, and I was looking at some other ones like New York online and stuff like that.
mhm.
And so she shot me your information, and I was like, okay, okay, like Detroit. Okay, and okay, and the Emmy, yeah, because that does something that it lets me know, like, okay, you know what you're doing, you
Yeah,
know what you're doing, and you're good at what you do.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, that's what
Yeah,
did
yeah,
it for
and
me.
that's what I'm saying, and that's what it does is nothing's really changed. I'm still the same person or whatever. Because we this was I think, but nobody talk about the amount of Emmys that we didn't win because we did submit for other Emmys and we didn't
Mm-mm,
win. You know what I'm saying? It just so happened that we did
mhm.
end up winning. So I remember I was on the phone with a lady and she was asking me. She was like, "Hey, how much you charge to do this production or whatever?" And I was like, I charge XYZ, and she was like, that's pretty expensive. I was like, well, I mean, it's a certain standard that you're looking for, and this
Yeah.
is what I deliver, and I don't do just, half-hearted work or whatever. And she was like, well, so and so did it for such and such and such, and I was like, okay, well,
Mm.
like with me, like we've won Emmy awards with our stuff, and she was like, you won an Emmy award. I don't know. Can I use the N word on this podcast?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, she was still like, "Nigga, you should have led with that. I need to know who I'm talking to." I was like,
Right, right, right. You lead with that.
"Yeah, like you need to lead with that." I was like, I said, "Yeah, okay." So I'm talking to Emmy Award win. Okay. Now these prices make sense. And I was
Hmm.
like, okay, all right. So now, like, just from that conversation, remember, I tell you, I learned from people. You know what I'm saying? And I say, hey, just say I'm Emmy Award winning filmmaker, Timashion
Hmm.
Jones. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Just lead with that, and then now
Yeah, you
when I walk
earned
into the
it.
room, that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So here we are, 10 films in the game. You know what I'm saying? And we still got a high standard of excellence.
yes. And the one thing that too that I like um about your work is that, again, going back to like just the whole process is really, it's like hands on. And we're talking about the process of filmmaking course. I'm telling y'all, you've heard me on other um episodes, when I was promoting Wanted Love that we did. It's a great course. It's a great course. You learn so much. It's like it's to me, it's like like an accelerated course, but um because you learn so much, within what, 10 weeks.
Yeah, it was 10 weeks.
Yeah, 10 weeks. And I'm telling you, I know some people, some people go about getting into filmmaking. They have different ways. Some people go to like film school. Some people drop out of film school. It's famous directors who dropped out of film school, famous directors who went to film school. Some people didn't go to film school. So, it's different actions that you can take, but your course, your workshop, it's, oh my gosh, you learn so much. You learn so much. And like you tell, like you discourage people from, like, look, if you're not about this life, don't do it. Don't
Absolutely.
do it, because it is a lot. And if you don't have a passion for it, don't do it.
Yeah.
But if you have a passion for it, movies, you love movies, you want to make movies, y'all, you better take this course. So tell us about the course.
Okay, so the course is called The Process of Filmmaking. It's the process of filmmaking. No, processoffilmmaking.com is the website. What I did was I recorded all 10 of those sessions. And we had some very powerful classes and
Yes.
hands-on activity where we shot the whole film of One in Love, and I had the cameras rolling the whole time. So you get a chance to see every single shot
Oh wow.
And yeah, yeah. I mean, you see everything, all the good, the bad, the ugly, people directing it. Like you see everything.
Okay.
And then it was also like I got a bunch of filmmaking friends here in Detroit. And Detroit has some of the most successful films, independent films, out in
Mhm.
the game. A lot of our films, they like dominate Tubi. And if you're looking for like a Detroit hood movie, like people in New York and LA be looking for these movies, you know.
Mhm.
And so I invited them along with other people who do film festivals and do Christian films, like a nice variety.
Mhm.
Everybody ain't in Detroit doing gangster hood movies. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're like, I do inspirational movies myself. You know what I'm saying? I am from Grand River in Schoolcraft, so I might do a story about my old hood. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So might be something going on with that. Um, but I brought them on because I wanted our students to see and talk to actual filmmakers who took a concept, put it on a script, did the pre-production work, produced it, and now they're actually being paid in royalties. Everybody on that panel have that royalty walk from the mailbox to their house. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And I wanted our students to fully understand, and ask questions.
Mhm.
How did you start and all that stuff, just so you can start a little ahead of the game. Because what I didn't want is for somebody to say, "Hey, I want to make a movie," and have to figure all this stuff out like I did. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
had to figure all this stuff out, and
Yeah.
then I finally hooked up with my partners that we started our company with, and then I learned so much from them, and I just took that game and I give it to my students. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? So now you can get all of those classes uh, for the course, and you can watch on video. And then I got like quizzes in between. You can download the PowerPoint presentation that I use, and you can look at the actual video. That we shot as a part of the class, as well as when we made the movie. So yeah, and that's the course. The process of filmmaking.
Yeah, and we had a ball, and few of us, even made like some friends that we're going to be start, working together too. So it was just great.
Yeah.
I really had a great time. I learned a lot. And I'm excited about making my first film. So, well,
I'm excited too.
second film.
Well, yours totally. Yeah,
But
like
yeah,
yeah,
right.
I'm excited about that. Like what I mentioned to all of the students is even online students. I still hold them as my
Yeah.
students, and my success is tied to their success.
Mhm.
So if you go out, make a good movie or whatever, then I consider myself to be successful in what I did. But if everybody say, "Oh, that was a good class," and now they watch Netflix all day, not doing any of the stuff that I taught them, then
Mhm.
I must not have done a good job. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, you got to have receipts. You know what I'm
You
saying? I got
do.
to
Yeah.
show proof. I got to show proof that I actually contributed to this industry. You know what I'm saying? This
Mhm.
filmmaking industry here in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, and I like how you held us accountable too. You gave us like a timeline, even though like my timeline, because for I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to write, blah blah blah, but it kind of changed because I'm like excellence and nothing at all too, especially church I'm from, I grew up in. It's just like excellence or nothing at all.
mhm.
So like before I I'll start to do my screenplay. I want to do I need to do research because it's a certain subject that I'm going to tackle, and I want to talk to different people about the different experts,
Mhm.
so it can be more real and more, so it just need that research, just before I just go to start writing. But
No, yeah,
um
that's part of the process, but that should
yeah.
also be part of your timeline. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Because right now I'm working on a documentary about this great jazz musician. I mean,
Yeah, I
he has
saw.
been so impactful to the Detroit area and the jazz scene in total. But I like over the last month, I probably watched about 10 other documentaries. You know what I'm saying? On jazz or music or
Mm-hmm.
kind of like stylistically. So you need that time to do your research and development. Like
Mm-hmm.
every time I get ready to do a movie, I watch a bunch of movies before that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just to kind of like, see what I can borrow, see what I because we all steal and take from each other. You
Right,
know what
right.
I'm saying? It's part of the game. Rappers do it. They borrow from other people's style. They
Mm-hmm.
take beats. Producers do it.
Yep.
Filmmakers do it too. Like, oh, that was a nice shot, but you just can't make that shot look like that shot.
Right.
Would be like, hey, that he took that shot.
Right. Like,
Unless you're paying homage to the filmmaker and you like, you know what, like I like them so much, I want to do this kind of shot. You know what I'm saying? Like I did a shot in one of my bullying movies, and I'm a big fan of like I was really big on Tupac when he was around or whatever, and I used to like the movie Juice as well. So
yes.
I did the little shot where he closed the locker and the bully was there. You know what I'm
That's in
saying?
the trailer, right? Because I have the
Yeah.
trailer. I'm gonna play the trailer.
Okay. All right. It could it,
So
it
I
could have been.
think.
No, you had Hope 911 for the trailer.
Oh, you talking about Sticks and Stones?
It's Sticks and Stones. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? If Sticks and Stone, I was like, we're gonna call this the juice shot. But it wasn't like I was intentionally stealing this in order to like steal the shot. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I'm telling everybody this is where I got it from. This is what I'm doing. I'm paying my respect. You know what I'm saying? So as
Yeah.
a filmmaker, you do it that way, or you do it in such a way where people don't know you took that. You know what I'm saying? As it's a reference shot. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
You know.
And I do want to show a clip of one of your movies, Hope 911. I just want to show everyone, just look at it. Here, the audio was great. The cinematography, how it looks is great. So, and this is out of Detroit, y'all. Go, we on the map now. So, so I just want to just briefly show just like your work, and so they can see what you do. Okay.
All right, yeah, great.
All right. I'm gonna click us out for a sec. And
I was 8, I learned that some birds can fly hundreds of miles without stopping. I used to wish I could fly away as far as I could. If I tried and failed, maybe a flock of birds would catch me before I hit the ground and fly me hundreds of miles away. Or maybe I'll just hit the ground. Either way, I'll still be far from here.
Yes, the Hope 911 program. In a nutshell, sir, it's a peer-to-peer support group that actually allows struggling students to be helped and heard by their peers.
So, you're telling me that this scour software of yours is gonna help us find Shantae?
Terrence, are you home?
Yeah. Why?
Don't do it, Terrence.
I didn't get to tell you why Hope 911 was so important.
Are you serious? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna jump and be free of it all.
Are you away from the weapon or in a safe environment?
so, y'all, that was Timashion's movie Hope 911, and just, I mean, it's just so clear. The audio was great because some movies you like what they say, what you wish it was subtitles, but
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I'm just being real, but that's good quality.
Yeah.
That is good quality, and this is who you'll learn from, y'all, if you are really serious about wanting to make movies. And I will have Timashion's information in the episode description, so you can just go ahead and hit that link and get that information. So, but before we wrap up, I know it's so much that can be said, but before we go, I just want to just briefly take us to um your first project, okay, after high school, and walk us through those emotions that you felt like how were you feeling like that when you stepped on a set for your set for the first time?
All right, so the first day on the set, we were very excited. Um, I was a little nervous because I did video in the past, but I had that little camera that you can kind of like push the button and zoom and go out. It
Yeah.
had high 8 tape, and they were excuse me, talking about changing lenses and all this and that, and I'm like, changing lenses? What was, so like I was there to learn myself, but I was the producer. So I was like coordinating where we're going to shoot, talking with people and making sure the actors had what they needed and all that stuff or whatever. So like I was doing my manufacturing supervisory kind of mode, you know what I'm saying? And trying to let the director focus on doing what they were doing. But emotionally, I felt really comfortable because we did a lot of homework. You know what I'm saying? So we watched movies on how to capture sound, the different types of mics that you have, you know what I'm saying? Lighting, how to diffuse certain things and how to achieve certain lights in different frame rates and all that stuff or whatever. We watched a lot of tutorials, we watched a lot of movies. So when it was time to make our own, we had a shot list and we knew what we had to get. But what we didn't fully understand was all the different problems that would take place and how to navigate past those problems. You got, and the thing is, to be a successful filmmaker, you got to be able to solve problems quickly and effectively so they don't come back and bite you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I probably learned more than anything. Like right in the middle of the shot, next door neighbor cutting his grass. You know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, what do you do when that happened? Or, you know what I'm saying? What do you do when somebody's dress just ripped? You know what I'm saying? And now, like the whole scene, they're supposed to be walking, and now they can't walk the way they did. You know what I'm saying? Like we had like problems, like stuff was happening. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put all of this out there, but like you got to get ahead of those problems. Learn from one film shoot, and then prepare for those for the next one. You don't have those same problems. You know what I'm saying? But like our first day, we was very excited. Everybody was cool. We was pumped up, and we had like a 25-day shoot, I believe.
Okay.
And by day 14, everybody was walking around like zombies. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I mean, all that excitement went right out the window. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The honeymoon period was over, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like we was pumped up. Everybody, we're making a movie. All right. Action. And then it was like action. You know what I'm saying? It was like after a while, it's like, it takes a lot out of you. You know what I'm saying? But one thing about that, we shot that thing in about 25 days, and all three of our partners, we probably could have did that in about 10 days.
Oh, wow.
Knowing what we know now. You know what I'm saying? Because we thought every shot had to be a wide, medium, tight. You know what I'm saying? Wide, medium, tight. Wide, medium, tight. Like we don't need all those. You know what I'm saying? We can do this, boom, boom, over the shoulder, 2 count, let's get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like what we know now, that was 2011. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's 2022. We should definitely be more efficient.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like the person that I was then, mentally, spiritually, from an experience standpoint, like I was very green when it comes to this film stuff. You know what I'm saying? But the more you do, the more you get familiar and the more comfortable you are and the better you get at it. You know what I'm saying? Like when once you got your license, you was very excited to drive. It was like, all right, I got my license, but nobody better ride up on you too tight, too close. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, they roll up on you like I knew they was coming out, fools. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
You've been driving for so long, what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? But when you first started, it wasn't the same. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's what I want to do with my students is give them everything that they need. I mean, of course, I can't give them everything, but you got to get that from experience. I can tell you how to swim, but I can't push you in that pool. You got to jump in the pool for yourself and apply everything that I taught you so you don't drown. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's it. So I got a teacher's heart, man. So you got to stop me from talking.
Oh no, don't worry, I will.
and all that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it was it was a pleasure having you on the show and just encouraging the audience here to go after what you want, go after your passions. You can do it. And that's what I just want to do all this month is just encourage people to do their passions, work in their passions like full time, you know.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
before we wrap up, let us know what you have coming. 'Cause I know you did mention something that you just directed, a documentary, and just let the people know where they can find your work and what you have coming up.
I guess the easiest way for them to do it is to follow me on Instagram, and on there I have a link tree, and in that
Okay.
link tree it gives my IMDb, it gives my filmmaking class, it gives the projects that you can watch on Tubi, A Love That Hurts, and Cody High for sure. I just did a documentary called Die Willie Die. It's about the Black community healing from multi-generational trauma, and very powerful documentary. My man Ron O. Elliott, he's producing that. We both like co-directed it. Is
Mm-hmm.
very powerful piece, and I really want people to see that. So you can go to diewilliefilm.com to check that out.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just follow me, man. My mixtape coming out, next week.
Okay.
No, I'm just playing. I don't rap no more. I did used to rap. I'll tell you about that. But that's
Right. Yeah, I read that in your bio, your rap group.
yeah, it's all good, man. Nah, trying to wrap up these film shoots, you know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to wrap up, you know what I'm saying?
I know
That's a rap. That's the only rap I want to hear right about now.
no, that's right. Oh my God. That's okay. So y'all, we're gonna have again all of Timashion's information in the episode description here, his link tree, his Instagram, all his socials, and his websites and all of that good stuff. So you can follow him to see what's coming up, and you can be notified of that. And again, if you want to take the process of filmmaking course, you can do that as well. So can people do that like at any time?
You can log on, pay for
Like
it,
sign up this anytime. This
and you will have instant access to all 10 classes. Watch them at your own pace. And then you'll be brought into the community. You can be part of the Facebook group. And, I'll be doing these pop-up Zoom classes too, trying to like help people coach them along in their process,
Okay.
filmmaking journey.
Okay.
So yeah, they can log on, and you got instant access once you pay,
Right, once you pay.
I mean, that's normally how it works, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because I'm so glad I got in when I did, because yesterday's prices. It's not today's prices. But it's
I needed an audience in order for it to work. So
yeah.
it was like paid extras, but you was like, you know what I'm saying? But you really getting the class too,
Right.
So
It was wonderful. Glad to be the charter class, and it's great. So thank you, Timashion, and I'm excited for what is about to come ahead for you, and I'll be supporting a lot of things that you do, because you are good at what you do, and I thank you for pouring into me. So I really thank you for that. And everyone, we will be back next week with another person that you'll meet who started a new venture in their life, and they'll let us know how they did it. And again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Okay. And Timashion, don't click out just yet. But everybody else, I will see you next week. Bye.
Oh, let's go. It's time to turn up your radio. Turn up the radio. Just so you know, you're kicking it with K. That's all I'm gonna say. You're here now.